mind. Unlike the developers only think about how, which is procedural or imperative, whereas we always think about declarative. We declare the state of the object that we are creating, that needs to be created. What should be the state? So there are a few states we need to just at this moment, if we are not going into very big details, but at least we need to understand that Terraform stores the configuration or the state of the objects or the infrastructure in a file, in a backend file. Okay. And wherever you want to change the state or you want to create a new one, Terraform always refers to that particular file. And that file name is called that file name is called the Terraform TF state. So Terraform.tf, Terraform state. TF means TF stands for Terraform. TF. So, and the state is state. So this is a backend file which will always store the current state. What is the state? Like, what is the provisioning state of the infrastructure? Now, we always desire the state or declarative. We always work as a declarative configuration files. And the configuration files are always ending with a .tf, Terraform file. So whenever Terraform finds that a file ends with a .tf, that means it's a configuration file written in HCL, HashiCorp configuration language, which is a language which can easily create, and that is what we are going to see today, create the infrastructure on a cloud platform, or a cloud platform or a native platform. It can be on-premise, or it can be on a data center, or it can be on the cloud. It doesn't matter. Okay, we are going to have a demonstration on AWS Cloud on how we will today create a security group, because that is needed to create our EC2 instance. We will create a server. We will create a virtual server, but not using what? We will not create the EC2 instance through our AWS console, because most of the time, almost 99% of the time, you can assume that you will not be allowed to use the AWS console. So how will you create all these things, all the infrastructure, and how do you work as a DevOps guy without accessing the AWS console or any cloud console? It is because you are helped with Terraform. You have a fantastic tool called Terraform. We will see how we create. Okay, so the state that we declare, the desired state is the state that you want your infrastructure to be as defined in your Terraform configuration file. So you are writing a configuration file. So can anybody tell me what will be the name of the file? Basically, the file ending with the initial name can be anything. It can be anything. Dot. What should be the extension of that file? Like a Word document, it will be docx.
.tf.
Okay, and Excel will be XLSX. And what should be a Terraform configuration end with?
.tf.
.tf.
.tf, correct. Terraform file. This is the magical name by which Terraform will immediately understand that this is the configuration file written in HCL. So this powerful file will be able to, with the help of Terraform, will be able to create something on the cloud. It can be an EC2 server. It can be a storage. It can be a storage. It can be a ELB, elastic load balancer. It can be an a S3 bucket, whatever. It can be an IAM user. It can be a database, RDS, data. Anything that you want to create that can be created through AWS console can also be created and destroyed and modified with the help of this configuration file. That is what we are going to demonstrate. So whatever you declare over here is your desired state. That is something that you want to be created, that is desired, versus something which is already created or already in the current state is called current. So there is another configuration file where the history or the statistics of what is available currently in the system with the infrastructure. What is the file name called? This is a backend file. This is called Terraform .tf state. This is every time Terraform will try to create something on the desired, it will first check what is available, what is there, what is current. If there is a mismatch or there is a difference, if there is a difference, it finds between what you desire and what is available, then only it will start creating through a command called Terraform. Anyone? Terraform is the executable and the command is apply. Very simple. So you are applying a plan. There is initially you have checked a plan with the command Terraform plan. We will do all these things today. So if the plan is up to your desire, then you go and apply it. Once you apply, this is physically your infrastructure will be created. With the plan, you do not create any infrastructure. You just check. It is like a blueprint or better to say blueprint or architectural design of the plan. When the blueprint is applied, then only you create the infrastructure. And this infrastructure will only be created when there is a difference between what is available, what is current, and what is desired. Of course. Okay. And if Terraform finds there is no difference, that means you have created an EC2 instance and you have not changed anything. So will there be any apply? Because the desired state is now equivalent to the current state. There is no difference. So there will be no creation of any resource additional, no update. What will happen? There will be only a refresh. So the current state is the actual state of the infrastructure as represented in the Terraform state file. The current state is read from the terraform.tf state. During Terraform apply, if the read produces difference between the current state and the desired state provisioning, that is create, update, delete, takes place. Otherwise, there is only a refresh. Are you getting me? So if there is no difference of the desired and the current, it will only refresh. Any questions? You understand that this Terraform always goes by that state. What is that you desire and what is that is available or current? So if there are any questions coming into your mind, please let me know. I will try to explain it again. If not, then can we proceed?
Okay.
Okay. So actually, I have not. I will maximize the screen. It will be easier. Yes. So today we are going to do the hands-on. I will just go through a brief overview of what we are trying to do. We are going to create an EC2 instance with Terraform. And as we have learned, to create an EC2 instance, what are the things absolutely necessary? There are 5 elements without which you cannot create an instance. Again, I am repeating the same thing. So one is the AMI. So for creating an EC2 instance, a server on the cloud, on an AWS cloud, I need to define the OS, operating system. Okay. I need, for authentication, I need a key pair. Okay. Third, this is for authentication. And then we need a security group, which is a firewall. This is for authorization. Fourth, so security group will always, you cannot create a security group without a VPC. So we will include the VPC within the security group. That is understood. I do not need to create a VPC. VPC is already there. I will create a security group for this particular EC2 instance using the VPC. And what else?
Subnet.
Sorry?
Subnet.
Yeah. Subnet. Very good. We need a subnet. Without a subnet, we will not be able to actually, this is a physical location where your server will be created. So a subnet ID or a subnet is a must. And the subnet is a sub-element of the network called VPC. Okay. And last but not the least is anyone?
Instance type.
Sorry?
Instance type.
Instance type. Yes, the size. Till now you have defined everything, but did you mention how many CPUs, how much memory, what could be the size of the server? All these things you need to mention, and you do not need to do much thing. You have to just specify the instance type. These are the 5 mandatory elements to create your EC2 instance. So I will pick up AMI. I will pick up. I have already created one key pair. I will use that key pair. I will pick up an existing subnet ID. I will pick up an instance type, a free tier instance type. Okay. So only thing that I'm going to create is the separately. I could have picked up an existing security group, but I will create this one first. You will also see that how I define my script to create a security group. So security group means you have to define the rules, inbound rules. We will define and outbound. There will be one outbound and maybe more than one inbound rules. There is one outbound means every traffic has to come out of the server. So that is one rule, one outbound rule. And maybe here minimum one and maximum it can be many. One to many. Okay. So this is the things that we are doing. We are first of all going to create, but suddenly all of a sudden we cannot start creating the security group. So we will follow the steps. So first of all, I have already installed. I have already created one EC2 instance on which that is a server, and on which I will be installing. Installing the Terraform. I have already installed it. Without Terraform, Terraform is the software with the help of which I'm going to create my infrastructure. So I have already installed my Terraform to save some time. And another thing, very important thing is, see, Terraform is something, a software which is external. And this is the cloud, AWS. So, and you are going to create your resources over here. Resources over here. Okay, through the help of Terraform. Terraform is a software, DevOps tool. Now, first and foremost is AWS does not know Terraform. So your account, you are going to access some account. An account is nothing but an IAM user or maybe the root user, but you generally do not work on the root user. For my sake of demonstration, I will be using my root user, but a root user is also a user on the cloud. So on a particular account, and whether it is root or IAM, I have created already the security credentials. Remember that during the session, during the AWS Cloud sessions, I have told you about access key. You create your IAM user or whatever. You have to create your access key and secret access key. This is the password. So this combination will secure your credentials. It's a security credential. So from outside, I will be only authorized to use AWS resources or manipulate the resources only if I can provide the necessary access key and the security access key. If these two matches with your account credential, security credential for that IAM user or the root user, then you are allowed to work on the AWS cloud to create the resources, provision the resources without actually being on the cloud. You are outside. Somewhere you are in India. This cloud is hosted over, let's say, US East. Okay, you are creating a server in the US East. or maybe Singapore, anywhere, but not in India. But you have your Terraform or whatever the environment created in some server, maybe on the cloud on a different region, doesn't matter, or maybe in the same region where you want to. So so in our example, we are going to use the Singapore region, which is AP, Asia Pacific, Southeast 1. Okay. I have manually created my EC2 instance over in the same region, but I'm going to create another EC2 instance and the security, security group on the same region. I could have done into a different region. Doesn't matter. It can be done very easily. Okay. So are you fine? That authentication is the first step. We cannot access from outside. Some external agency or agent cannot work directly onto AWS unless and until you have the credentials, the correct credentials. Is that okay? So how to do that, I will also demonstrate. Any questions so far? So basically, I have already created my IAM user or whatever the root user, and I have given the access. I have also created the access key. I will show you. And therefore, there is also a secret access key, which I know I will not. Yeah, we can use it. So after that, after all these things have been set up, the environment has been set up, then we are going to create the configuration files to start working and deploying the infrastructure with Terraform. So these are the things that I will just, it is not possible for me to explain you in details, but I will at least try to give you some details. You will understand it. So this is the provider file. This is the configuration file for the security group that you are going to see. Can you see? .tf, .tf, .tf. Okay. Now we are going to use some commands, very simple commands. Terraform is very simple if you can understand in and out. Terraform init to initialize and install the plugins. You know, remember why do we need the plugins? Can anybody tell me? What is the importance of the plugins with Terraform? Just whatever in your mind it comes, you can let me know. Why should we install the plugins?
You install the plugins to enable us to work on AWS Cloud, for
Yes,
instance.
exactly. To be able to make an API call to a particular cloud, whether it is AWS or it is Google Cloud, GCP, or it's Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, or Azure Cloud. Okay, you have to have that specific set of plugins for that particular cloud. That is the first step that we need to understand and do. And then we will have to validate our scripts through Terraform validate. If your script is having some syntax error, some grammatical mistakes, something which is not, the language does not support that particular syntax, then you have to first of all check whether your syntax is correct. So Terraform validate. Then we will check that whether our plan of the configuration, the desired, whatever we have desired into that, declared into that script, is exactly giving what we planned. So that is to generate a blueprint of our infrastructure that we are going to provision. So Terraform plan. Once we are happy with this plan, then we go to Terraform apply. so that when we run this particular configuration and apply it, so actually physically those infrastructure will be created. This is the stage. And finally, when we are happy with everything, and now our project is over, and the management says, the project manager tells me that Debashish, you can now release all the infrastructure that you have created because our project has been done, delivered. So what we will do, we will use, remember the Terraform state file is there. So what is current and available is all recorded in the Terraform state file. That is, you know, the name is the Terraform state file is terraform.tf state. So Terraform will read this file for every step. Okay, whether you are doing Terraform plan or Terraform apply or Terraform destroy, it will read this Terraform TF state, which is created when you run the Terraform plan first time. Okay, and every time it will refer to this, and if there is a difference, it will create or apply, and also it will read this to see what are the current resources, because you have created the resources and those are recorded in this backend file. So if you want to destroy, what are the things that you want to destroy? The things that you have created or provisioned. Okay, so that will be destroyed. We will also see this thing. So can we start our demo? Before that, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Yes.
Before that, if you have any, yes,
yeah.
please.
I have a question. Yes, I wanted to ask, creating a EC2 instance now, that you will need access key and the secret access key. I wanted to ask, is it possible for us to install like AWS CLI, then we can impute the access keys?
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. A fantastic question. And you have also asked the question and answered it. Very well done. So what he is asking, what Hussein is asking is, what is the way that we can access AWS Cloud, not through the AWS console, but from outside? So is there any AWS CLI? Yes. AWS CLI is a software which will interface from interactively with the cloud without having a graphical user interface. Fantastic. So AWS CLI is the means through which we will implement our access credentials. So let our system know that wherever the Terraform has been installed, I will show you. Wherever our Terraform has been installed, Terraform has to know, that system, that server has to know that if I need to connect to a cloud environment, what is the credentials that I need to access? So that credential will be stored hidden from any other user view, so that it is very secret. It is very secretive information, very secret information, very secured information. I should not mention anywhere in the script, because the script is in the public domain. The script is in the GitHub. My Terraform script is in GitHub. So anyone, if I put the access key and the secret access key, the code anywhere in my script, so anyone can see it. It's after all text. So I will not do that mistake. What I will do, I will use an AWS CLI to hide those information within the system. That is what I'm going to say. Did I answer your question, or rather you have answered yourself?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Great.
I get everything. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yes. So is there any other question? If you, or shall I proceed? So let us proceed. While we see that, it will be
Hello,
easier
sir.
for me
Satish
to.
here.
Yeah, Satish.
I just want to know, can you repeat what is the state file? What the state file is? State file does.
The state file is a backend file, because when you initialize, you are letting Terraform know that this is my project where all the Terraform files are there. Along with that, there are Terraform plugins, as well as I'm creating a backend storage for my uh, terraform.tf state file, because at one stage this will be created when we execute the plan. Okay, just give me some time. I will explain each and every step. Will that be fine?
Okay, done.
Because as I told you, that state file is a very important file. Every time Terraform will consult this file and check whether there is a incremental difference or a delta between the desired state of your configuration file and whatever the configuration is right now available. So the current state versus the desired state, that difference is always maintained, or rather the current state is always available in the terraform.tf state first time. Okay. So let me go to my AWS console. So this is, I have already logged in. Okay. I have logged in as Debasis P. And this is my account. This is my AWS account ID. And I have logged in as a root user. Fine, that's fine. And therefore I have a security credential. See, I am identity and access management, though I'm a root user. Root user is a super user. And immediately when I come to the CU, it is not region specific. The region is gone. It is a global object. So any user is a global user. So it can operate from any region, from any subnet, from anywhere. So in this, my security credential, which is I am a root user. Can you see? I am a root user. So I am a root user, but still I have created two access key. I'm going to access this particular key. This is my security credential. I will be using it from outside. Okay. I can able to see the access key, but can I see my secret access key, which is the password? No, never. I have to save it somewhere very carefully, because that is only available to you once when you create the access key. But once you have come out from this screen and you have not saved it, it will never be displayed again. So anyway, that part is already done. I will be using these credentials to let my Terraform get authenticated over the cloud into this account, into this account. Okay. Any question? So this is the first and foremost thing that we have to understand. So let me go to my EC2 service. I have already created my instance just for the sake of saving some time, and I have given it a name as EC2 Internship. This is the name of the server. This is right now it is stopped. I will make it run. It is t3.micro instance type. It is available in AP Southeast 1A. So this is the availability zone. So then it is using a particular subnet ID. And it is using an internship-SG, that name of the security group. And it is using a key security, key pair as internship key pair. So through this key pair, I will log in into this system. Okay. So let me select this, and therefore I have. Oh, the public IP address is not showing, but the IP internal or the private IP address is showing. Can anybody tell me why? My public IPv4 address is not available to me right now.
I think it's
Instance
because
is
you've
stopped.
not it stopped. Yes, if you start the instance now, the
Yes.
public IP will show. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Because the server does not exist. I mean, it exists, but it is shut down. It is stopped. So I have to make it up and running. So let me start this. So it has started. It will take a bit of time to come into from the pending state to the running state. And immediately, can you see that your server has got this particular IP address? This is random. This is not fixed. Every time you start up your server, you see it is in the running state now. So this server is available. I will be able to connect it through the key pair through my putty. Okay, so I have copied this. I will go to my putty. And remember that the other day we have created this particular session. I will load this session. Naturally, this will be a different IP address. It is the old IP address. I will change it to the new one because I have started fresh today. So this one, and the rest I can check in the SSH key and the credential. Yes, I have that under some folder. I have this internship key pair .ppk. PPK is the the extension name for the format of the key pair for the putty only. So I directly downloaded the putty private key. So with the help of this, it will be authenticated, and I will now go and you can save it or may not. I will open it. And you see it is giving me this message that yes, I would like to accept it. You are going to connect over the SSH port 22 with a key pair connection. Accept it. So you see the internship key pair, that is the key pair through which you have connected or authenticated, authenticating with the public key over the IP address that you have, the public IP address. So I have already logged into this server. What is this server? So you name -A. You see the server IP address is 172.31.34.109. You can check it. So 172.31.34.109. So this is the internal IP address or the private IP address. Once you are connected through the public IP address, this is the most important IP address. That is called the private IP address because this will never change. So you have logged into this particular thing. Now, my real work starts now. I have installed Terraform already. There are a few steps through which I followed. That is not very important at this stage. You will, once you learn Terraform, you will also know how to install Terraform. So on this server, I have installed Terraform. How do I know that? So I can I can say which Terraform. Terraform will be in small letters. So the Terraform has been installed under user/bin Terraform. So this is my executable. Terraform is the executable. I want to check the version. Terraform -- version. Yes, Terraform version, the latest version is 1.13.3 and it is on the Linux version AMD 64. So we are on the Ubuntu machine. You are on the Ubuntu version 24.04. You know, this is what is called as AMI, Ubuntu, the operating system. So it is the Linux version of the Terraform that we have installed. Okay, Terraform has Windows version, Terraform has Mac version as well. But since we are using a Linux machine like Ubuntu, we have installed Terraform over Linux. Any question? So Terraform is there. You see? So all these commands are Terraform commands. Main commands: init, validate, plan, apply, destroy. So Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, Terraform destroy. Is that fine? Now let's another thing. I have also installed. Can anybody tell me? Somebody has told me the solution that for connecting Terraform to the AWS Cloud, I need some help of another software which is coming from AWS.
AWS CLI.
AWS CLI.
Yes, AWS CLI. So this is an entire suite of software coming from AWS. CLI is command So something called CLI. Why CLI? Because it is like a command line interface. You are going to interactively work with the commands which will help you to interact with the cloud. There is no graphical interface. So it is all through command line, black and white interface, command line interface. Is that fine? So I have already installed AWS CLI. So if I say AWS version, it is giving me that I have installed AWS CLI version 2.31.3 and AWS CLI works on Python. And if you ask me, did you install Python? I will say I have not installed Python, but Python automatically comes with Ubuntu OS or AMI. Automatically comes means it is bundled with Ubuntu. So whenever you have created this EC2 instance with the AMI called 24.04 Ubuntu, your Python is already there. So I can check Python So the Python is that version is Python 12.3, which is the Python native that has been installed. And this one, AWS CLI, is having its own another Python version, which is coming with the installation of AWS CLI is Python, a higher version, 3.13.7 on the same Linux, Ubuntu 24. Any confusion? Why I have installed AWS CLI? So there is a command. AWS, there are lots of command in AWS CLI. One of which is AWS configure. What we are trying to configure? We are configure few things. So after I have installed the AWS CLI, I have configured. What did I configure? What did I hide with this configuration of AWS CLI is my access key ID. So I have picked my access key ID. This is my access key ID. You can see it will not show you the entire thing. The last few digits, 6L, X, and J. L, X, and J. So I'll say it's fine. I do not need to do it again. Now AWS secret access key. It is ending with EG7S. Can you see EG7S? It is the entire thing. So it is the half of some part it is displaying. It will not show the entire thing. But when I configured it, I have given the entire thing. So I'm not changing it. Where it is asking me, where is the default region where you want to work? I want to work in Singapore. So I have given this AP South. If you wanted to work in Mumbai, you will say AP South 1 because that is the region ID of Mumbai. But I'm fine. I want to work with AP Southeast 1. And the output format is JSON. No need to worry about this format because whenever on an internet you interact or there is a transaction, so the authentication, this information of your AWS access key ID, secret access key, these are information that is growing over the internet. So there must be some format, a secured format, and that format is JSON. JavaScript object notation. It is a key colon value pair. So the data travels the internet. It is with wire or without wire, wireless, as a key value pair. So a key will refer to a value. So this will happen in a pair. Anyway, that is not our discussion. So I will say yes, the format. So I have given all this information and hidden them within my AWS CLI configuration. Is that fine? Because I need this authentication key. Now, let's make Terraform. I'm creating a directory, my project directory. Say Terraform project. Okay. So CD, I'm going to that Terraform project. Right now, the directory is entirely empty. Now, if I say Terraform init, why I'm going to do the init? Because I want to initialize my plugins. My plugins have to be done. But your Terraform initialized in an empty directory. The directory has no Terraform configuration file based on which you have not mentioned any provider. Did you mention any provider? Is there any TF file over here? How will Terraform know what is that you want to desire? Is that logical? So what I do, I will feed a configuration to Terraform so that Terraform understands what is the provider and therefore it will download the relevant plugins for the cloud provider. So I will create, therefore, I will create a provider configuration file in HCL, in HashiCorp configuration language. I'm following that format. So let us do that. So I will say VI. I can name anything. VI is an editor. VI editor. It is the Linux editor. Okay. It is a very powerful editor. You may or may not know, but it is like a Word. Like in Windows, you use the Word to edit your files and all those things. Or you may use the Visual Studio Code editor or whatever, any ID. But here I'm using VI. Very simple. And VI, I'm giving it a name as provider dot what?
No, sir.
Sorry.
I wanted to ask. I said instead of VI, what of if we use Nano?
Sorry, can you repeat your question again, please?
Oh, okay, I said instead of us to use the VI editor, can we use a NaNo? Nano.
Oh, Nano is also sort of a VI editor only, but it is sort of a graphical. It is not graphical at all, but still it has some. I prefer VI over Nano because it's up to you. If you are comfortable with Nano, it's very good, no issues. It is just simple. The fact is, you have to write a file, you have to create a file, you have to edit the file, you have to do something on that file. You are writing some configuration file, right? So you need some editor. It can be Nano, it can be VI, it can be your. If you are using Windows, you can use any document editor. Even you can use the Visual Studio Code editor, and then you can copy paste into, or you can directly transfer that file into your system. But I do not want to take that hassle. I would like to directly edit on the VI. You can use Nano as well. So if you say Nano is also fine. It is like some sort of a graphical. So they will give you all these things as a help.
Oh, yes. It's very easy using this sometimes.
Yes, some sort of utility, but I prefer VI. Okay, it's up to you.
Sir.
So
okay, sir.
Yes. Now provider dot what shall I give? You can give it any name. You can give it any name, but I'm giving some meaningful name such that by the name itself I know what is this file, what is this configuration file all about. So dot what shall I mention? Shall I not mention TF? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I have to mention TF. Without TF, it is not a configuration file of Terraform. So this is an editor. It's an editor. VI, simple, very simple. See, it is not giving you so much of help, unlike Nano. It's up to you. So I'm inserting. I have already, to save my time, I have sort of listed what should be my code like. So this is my simple declarative statement. It's very, very simple. I will just go through. It will take a bit of time to understand why I'm writing in this format, why this is a sort of a, this is the format that is required by Terraform to understand. So this is a format. You have to give a two spaces, but this is when I teach in my main course, I go through all these details. So these are the clauses. So Terraform, it is saying that I would like to have the required provider as AWS, and this AWS plugins have to be downloaded from the source HashiCorp AWS. So HashiCorp, this is the internet site where it knows whenever, so Terraform knows how to go and extract the plugins for AWS. Now, if you are using Azure, you will write something called Azure. Okay. And here it will be not HashiCorp. It will be something else that is given in the manual. And which version of the plugins? It will be greater than 5.0. So I think it will be 5.8, some version. We'll check. And then you close the brackets. These are the blocks of the code. So you say that I require the provider AWS from this source to be downloaded with the particular version. So you say Terraform. And then also you say provider. Provider is, see, this is the clause. So what is the provider? Provider is the AWS. What is the region which you want to work with? You want to work with AP Southeast 1, which is Singapore. You can also give a hash and say Singapore region. This is a comment entry. And you could have given in the very provider file as AWS access key equal to, can give a gap, and then you could have given the entire this one. Okay. And then you could have given AWS and you could have given, this is the exact, it's sort of a password. You see, but what is the danger? The danger is because I'm going to save this somewhere in my GitHub or whenever you are working in an organization. I'm not going to keep it on the server because this server will be taken back after the project is over. So it will be taken back by the operations team because this server will be used by some other project. So it will be lost. So finally, all my scripts and everything has to be stored in the GitHub or somewhere. But then somebody can have a look into this particular code and you will find that, oh, okay, Debasis or this particular project has got this access. So why not use? So your account is compromised. Are you getting me? So never do that. That's why I have made a provision with my AWS CLI, and in my AWS CLI, I have used AWS configure to configure my access credentials in a hidden folder, somewhere hidden within AWS CLI. Nobody knows that. Are you getting me the thing? So I will save and come out. So here you see that you have something called provider. Suppose I rename this, so I will move provider TF to provider something. It is not TF. So if you see that this cannot be used as some configuration file of Terraform. So if I say Terraform, I would like to initialize to Terraform init. Will it work? No, it will not work because it is not finding any configuration file to initiate. What plugins will it download? You have not mentioned because this is not a what? This is not a Terraform configuration file because it is not ending with .tf. So Terraform will not consider this as a configuration file. So now I say give it a proper name, provider.tf. And now you see I have this a configuration file only, but do I have the plugins? No. Once I say Terraform init, now you will see that the plugins will be downloaded. Plugins of which provider? Plugins of AWS provider, AWS Cloud. Let's see. Yes, it is initializing the backend. It is initializing the provider plugins, finding HashiCorp AWS. So it has gone to the internet and matching versions greater than 5.0. So it has got, oh, sorry, it was V500. So 5.100 was the matching. So this is the latest AWS configuration or AWS plugin files. So your Terraform has been successfully initiated. So now you are ready with your environment. And I will show you one thing. You see this dot, this blue one is a hidden folder. If you say ls -l, you will not find those hidden folders. And I mean that hidden, this is a folder and this is a file, hidden file. These are the Linux fundamentals. Okay, it is out of scope for me to explain all these things in a short period of time. But remember, anything starting with a dot is a hidden file or folder. This is a folder. The blue color is a folder and the white color is a file. So what is there? So I can directly go to .terraform and go to providers, go to registry, go to HashiCorp, CD star. You can give a star as well. So it has come to AWS. You go to CD star. You come to that folder. Okay, 5.100.0. That was the version. And here you will see for which version Linux, for which operating system it is Linux. Okay, you go there and thereafter you say LL. You see this is the green one indicates it's an executable file. This executable file is of big size. Okay, it is almost like 600 MB, 600 more than 600 MB. So or maybe I think 70 MB. I'm not very sure. I have to convert that. Anyway, so it's a big file. What is this big file containing? This big file is containing all the AWS plugins for version 5.100. That means this is whenever Terraform will execute Terraform validate, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, Terraform destroy, everything will now, all these plugins will be coming from this particular executable, but they are hidden in a hidden folder .terraform. And this is a license that you are using, a license, but you have not expended any penny for buying this. This is automatically for you because it's an open source Terraform, I mean open source DevOps tool. So is it clear that all the plugins filed from Terraform for AWS Cloud has now been downloaded for Terraform for this project? Now I will go back. I will go back to my home folder and then I will go to Terraform project. So is that clear? More or less. So you see, I have downloaded my plugins. Now, if I have downloaded my plugins, and now the next step is Terraform validate. I would like to validate all the Terraform configuration files, whether they are syntactically correct. It is showing the configuration is correct, valid. Okay, the configuration for which file? The TF file, provider.tf file. Fine. Terraform plan. Now, what do you plan? Is there anything for your plan? Provider is just for the configuration. There are no changes because there is no infrastructure that you have defined, that you have desired. So let us desire one. We have to do this, as I told you, for creating one EC2 instance, I need a security group. So let us create a security group. So what are the security groups right now available? Let me check. Let me go to the dashboard. I have the security groups. Okay. So this is the security group for my default for my EC2 instance that is created. But I want to create one more security group for my server that I am going to access, the one that I am creating. I'm not going to access this security group. So I will customize my security group. I will create my own security group. But now I will not do it with my console. I will do it with my what? From Terraform. So let us do that. So I'm going to create one more resource, and that resource is called security group. So let us do that. I will come back to my terminal. I will just say vi security group.tf. I will like to make it small, the names. And I will insert, what will I insert? I will explain you. I'm going to copy this and paste. So it is so simple. You see, I have put that into my Word document and I'm just copying, and over here I'm pasting it in my VI. That is what you can also do. If you are not comfortable with VI and all these commands, you can just copy paste from your Windows machine, any other editor. So I'm not going to explain you each and everything, but yes, you are going to create a resource. And what is the resource? Any resource of AWS will always start with AWS _ security group. So this is the name of the resource. And what about this? Let me give it a internship SG, and I will make it internal. So this is nothing but a sort of a reference. You know, it's a key to this, key name to this particular. As I told you that everything over internet is like a key value pair. So here the resource is this particular resource. The name of this resource is AWS Security Group, and this is the internal name to this. So anytime you refer to this, actually you are referring to this resource. And I have a physical name for this. So what I do, I will say internship SG, and I'm giving it a name. So this is the physical name of the security group name. And the security group, as I told you, it has to come from the VPC. So let us copy. I will clear this. I will copy the VPC for that region. Which region? Asia, Singapore. So what I do, I go to VPC. If you are not finding it, you can ask me the question. Why? Because if I do not specify the security group, always happens with the network, which is called VPC. I cannot create a security group outside the VPC. So I have to, this is my default VPC. Any region will have one default VPC. So I'm copying the VPC ID, which is unique, and I am pasting it. So this is my VPC for the region AP Southeast 1, which is Singapore. And my internship my security group is going to be created under this particular VPC in this particular region. Fine. And ingress is the inbound traffic. First of all, I have to create some inbound rules so that I can allow traffic into my server. These are the inbound rules for the firewall, which is the security group. And first of all, these are the details things. I will not go into that details, but remember from which port. So what is this traffic? Whenever you say 80, what is this traffic?
HTTP.
It is the HTTP traffic. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So HTTP 80, and the protocol type is TCP, the 2 ports. So from 80 to 80, and CIDR block, I'm not restricting to any particular IP address or particular device. So it can be any traffic from anywhere. So this is called CIDR, classless IP address. So one inbound rule for HTTP. Another I'm creating for SSH. Without SSH, I cannot connect to my server. So for connectivity to my server, I need an SSH connection. And the SSH port is 22. 2 port is 22. And the protocol is TCP. And for any traffic. So I'm keeping it very simple. Any HTTP traffic can flow into my server. Any SSH connection can be established through this particular rule. Okay. And the outbound, I have to specify an outbound. So any outbound from any port for any protocol to any port for any device. So for any traffic. So it is all traffic, all traffic. So anything can go out from the server. Egress means outbound. And I am giving a tag name. So can you see that it is not a Python program? It is not a Java program. It is not a any language specific program. It is very, very simple. You declare what you want with a particular format, with a particular grammar. And that grammar has been given by HCL, HashiCorp configuration language. Is that clear? I'm giving it a name as Internship SG tag, the tag name. You will see. So I am saving this. Now I have created, or I will be creating, I've created a Terraform configuration file where it says that you want to create a resource by the name security group. Any questions from you, from your side?
Yes, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same file, the provider.tf, is it possible to edit the file and include like now we want to create a resource now, which is the security group, which we need to create our EC2 instance. Is it possible?
Yes.
Instead of creating another file that's sg.tf, is it possible to include the configuration in the provider.tf?
You mean to say that in the same file, can you have multiple resources created?
Yes,
is that
yes,
question
yes.
like that? Yes, absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. You can create hundreds of resources in the same file. But for the sake of clarity, what I have done, I am keeping it very simple. One resource, I'm keeping it under sg.tf, and another I will create an ec2.tf. Will that be fine?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it's fine. It's fine.
So Terraform,
Okay.
Terraform is very intelligent. It does not need to specify everything under one file. It understands that, okay, sg.tf. So it will go and read the file, and accordingly, what instructions that you have given, it will act accordingly.
Okay.
So let us, yes. So let us first see. I have created my file. I am not sure whether the format. Let me check the format. Yeah, the format has been done correctly. Sometimes you know that this is a file of a particular format, and whether that format is fine. So Terraform has a utility called FMT, through which you can also format the file correctly. And if you check sg.fmt, maybe I was not very particular about, sorry, yeah, sg.tf. So it has done it correctly. You see, it has, I may have done it not nicely, but it has indented. It has done the indentation correctly. Okay. So next, I would like to check whether the scripts are fine. So Terraform validate. If there is any syntax error, it will point out. But it is saying success. So that means whatever I have written is correct now. So next is Terraform plan. And what I'm seeing, there are no errors. First of all, it is saying that yes, Terraform is using the selected provider to generate the following execution plan. This is called the execution plan. Resource actions are indicated with the, now plus means always to create. Plus means create. So Terraform will perform because you have given resource. That resource is AWS underscore security underscore group. So that resource is creating. So can you see? It is going to create this group, and the internal name is internship SG internal will be created. So the resource, what are the resources? At this point of time, you know the description by default managed by Terraform, and in the ingress, we have given that it can be any protocol from 0 port to 2 port is 0 for any protocol. Okay, so it is all. And then there is the ingress for 80, for 22, which is SSH, and for another rule, ingress rule for 80. 80 is HTTP. And the name that you have given, the internship SG name. Remember, in that script, we have given name equal to internship SG name. And we have given the tag name as internship SG tag. And this is under the VPC, the default VPC of the region. Everything that you have desired is now coming under the plan. So I'm happy that one plan is added. 0, there was no changes and nothing to destroy. You have created one resource, or you are going to, the plan is to add one resource. You have not yet created, because if you go there and if you go to EC2 and go to the dashboard, security group, it is not showing because it has not yet created, isn't it? It has not created your security group. Let us do that. In the meantime, I do not see the backend file as well. That is the Terraform .tf state. The state file is not yet created because we have not yet applied for the first time. So let us apply it. It will apply according to that plan. and I don't want to be halted. So auto approve. Okay. So it will not stop for my confirmation that whether I want to proceed or not. Auto approve. It is now going to create the security group. See, can you see that it is according to the plan to add one resource? It is creating the AWS security group by the name Internship SG internal. That is the internal name. So it has created in 2 seconds. So how fast? And a new resource, always a resource will be accompanied by the resource ID. So this is the resource ID. So the apply complete, one resource added. Fantastic. So if it is added, can you check? Can you see now the Terraform TF state has been created?
Yes.
It keeps all the information of what has been created. It has created a AWS security group. The various attributes, by the description is managed by Terraform. The CIDR blocks and egress and all the stuff will come into picture. So it has maintained all the things that you have created right now. So this is now the current state. So the current state is defined over here or stored over here. Somebody was asking me about the backend. This is the backend state. Next. So I have to verify whether my security group has been created. I will refresh it. Can you see a security group has been created? It was not there earlier. So isn't it very nice? From outside, you have created your security group without touching anything graphically. And the name the tag name that you have given was Internship SG tag, and the security group name was given as Internship SG name. So to differentiate between this physical name and the tag name, I have given different names. Is that clear? And the description is managed by Terraform, that is by default. So a security group has been created in the default VPC. And the inbound rules, there are 2 inbound rules. One is SSH and one is HTTP, isn't it? The ingress. And there is one outbound rule, which is all traffic. Any doubts, any question? So now let's come to our instances. Now this is the time I'm going to create my instance. So what do I need to do? I will go back here. I'm happy that at least my security group has been created. And one thing, I will take VI security group. I will like to pick up this name. This name I need. Internship SG internal. Okay, I will keep it somewhere here. Just for the sake of thing. Lest I forget. Because I need to refer to that particular security group. So what I do, I create another TF. Now this time I'm going to create my EC2 instance. Again, I will take my help, the help from my thing. So what I do, I just copy this part and I will explain you. I put it over here. So what I'm going to do is creating, this is a remark entry //. So it will not be executed. Creating an EC2 instance, a virtual server in AWS Cloud resource. This is a resource that I'm creating. So any resource that you want to create, you start with a resource tag name, a resource name. And the resource name in this case now is simple AWS _instance. I will give it a internal name correctly. Internship demo server. It can be any name. You can name it anything. But this is just a key to this particular resource. Now, as I told you, the 5 essential parts. What are they? First, I'm saying AMI equal to what? What is the AMI? AMI is the operating system. Now, I will go there. I will go to my this one. And I would like to have the same AMI. That is this one, the AMI ID, which is Ubuntu 24.04. So I will copy this AMI ID and I will I will paste it over here. Okay. And what is the key name? Key name is the key pair name. So what is the key pair name? Key pair name is internship dash key dash pair, right? I would like to use the same internship dash key dash pair, the same name as the one that I have created earlier. And what is the instance type? T3 micro. So instead of T2, I will replace it with T3. And in my, so these are the, you cannot change these names. These are the clause. These are the attribute names for the resource, AWS instance, AMI, key name. You cannot say key pair. You cannot give it a name like key pair. No, it has to be key underscore name. Instance type, you cannot say instant type something or INST type. Now this is a VPC security group IDs, and this can be a number of firewalls. So it is an array. Array means a collection of data. So, but here so collection of data is always given by square brackets. But here I want to use only one security group. And that security group is AWS security group. And is this correct? What shall it be? Remember the internal name. This is that's why I have copied it earlier. I will copy and paste it over here. So it has to exactly refer to this particular resource. This is the name that will refer to this particular resource that you have already created. So otherwise it will clash or it will not find. Okay. Now let's say I do a mistake. There is nothing like this. Okay. So it will give an error. And then the subnet ID. Subnet ID is the another mandatory parameter for creating your EC2 instance. Here I will specify which subnet ID. So I will go to my VPC because subnet ID comes under VPC. I will go VPC for that same region. The region is Singapore, and I will go to subnets. I can pick up any one of them. It's up to you, up to me. I want to say that I want to create that in the availability zone B, AP Southeast 1B. So that is the middle one. So I will click this and copy the subnet ID, the resource ID, and paste it. So everything done. I have the 5 inputs: AMI, key name, instance type, security group, and subnet ID. So all the things have been fulfilled. So I will be able to create my EC2 instance. I'm naming it internship EC2 Terraform. Okay. So that EC2 which has been created through Terraform script. Any question from anyone? Did you more or less get? I don't expect you to understand in and out right now, but just to get a awareness how simple the scripts can be. But you are doing a lot of things. Actually, if you think of how, you can get puzzled. You can go mad. But since you are a DevOps guy, you know very clear. I don't need to worry about how. I will give these instructions, desired instructions to my Terraform, and Terraform will do the rest. Simply. Isn't it? Now, again, I will say Terraform format. Yes, EC2 has been correctly formatted. And then Terraform validate. When you say, oh, can you see why it is giving an error? Because the security group that I have tried to refer, there is no such security group by this internal name internship SG. Isn't it a mistake? So a managed resource. Sorry. Any question?
No. I say yes. I agree with you.
Yes. See, this name does not exist. So it cannot refer to the correct security group that you have provisioned. It has not been declared in the root module. So let us rectify it. I know that this is a mistake, and this one is SG underscore internal. Yes, I intentionally did it so that you can understand that how smart Terraform is. It can immediately point out the mistake that you have done, maybe. And now I save it. I do clear it off. I do the Terraform validate once again. This time it is success, naturally. So if it is success, so I should now go for a plan. Now you should see something very nice, because security group is already created, and it is going to create. Is it going to create the security group again? What do you think?
Yes.
Will it be yes? Did I make any changes in the security group configuration?
No.
No. So since there are no difference between the current and the desired for the security group, the resource that is already existing, so it will not touch it. So what will it do? It will say that Terraform will perform the following actions. And before that, Terraform found that AWS security group by the name Internship SG internal, it is already existing, and there are no changes that you have suggested in your configuration. So therefore, it will only refresh. You are getting me? Because there is no difference between. There is no difference. So does desired state is equivalent to the current state. And where is Terraform getting the current state? Because Terraform is reading the desired the .tf files. Fine. Against which file? The Terraform .tf state, the backend file. Remember? So that is holding the current state, and the current state says that you already have one security group and there was no changes suggested in that configuration file. So there is nothing going to be created, but it will be simply refreshed. Is that clear? And what is going to be created fresh? It is the instance that is going to be created with the internship demo server. That is the internal name. And you know this one because you have given this one. You do not know other parameters. Yes, you know. You know T3 micro, that is the instance type. You know the key pair, the key name, internship key pair. You know anything else? Yes, subnet. And of course, you know the tag name is internship EC2 Terraform, and you also know the security group. You have correctly referred to the security group. So all the 5 parameters that you know has been also appearing in the plan correctly. Is that clear? So now you are in a very good position to, because your plan is to add one more resource. So you can go for apply, right? So Terraform apply auto approve. If you do not give this, then what will happen? It will just wait for your input. So see, it is asking you whether you want to accept yes or no to proceed further. So this is the plan. You can again go to the plan and you are fine. So what you say, yes. So to avoid this interactive mode, I always give an auto approve. So it will proceed. Now it is creating the server EC2 instance. It can take a bit of time. So 10 seconds. Oh, after 12 seconds, see, can you see a server has been created? So fast, not even a minute, not even half a second, half a minute. Within 12 seconds, you have created a mini server. How fast? So one resource have been added. Let me verify. Let us go there. Let us go to EC2.
Simple question.
Let us go to the instances. Oh, yes. You can see your instance has been created by the name Internship EC2 Terraform running T3 micro. But you see, it has been created in AP Southeast 1B because you have given that particular subnet ID. The other one was in subnet, some subnet which is in availability zone, AP Southeast 1A. So you can select your own data center subnet. So this is the public IP address, which is definitely unique. And you are using the security group by the physical name as internship SG name. And you are using the key pair, the same key pair as the other one. So isn't it nice? Isn't it very fantastic that you have created your resource from outside using Terraform? You do not need to have any access to the AWS console. And I can copy this because now I want to log into this particular 172.31.35. So let me go to this one. I go to say new session and I will load my internship session. Only I will change, everything remains the same, only the IP address will change. And I can say open. Can you see it? I can accept the key pair and you can see that it has logged into 172.31.35. These two servers are different. You see, this one is the one that you were working on. Okay, the internship server, and this one is the one that is with 172.31.35. So you can check once again 172.31.35, and this is one. Whereas this one is 172.31.34.109. So you can go there and check, these two are different. You can go there and you can check uname -a. And can you see a 172.31.34.109? So this is different. This is different. This is EC2 internship 172.31.34. So basically what I have demonstrated is a success. Any question from any one of you? So what we have seen is how simply I am doing a very, very complicated and a very, very critical activity on a cloud amidst all the security and everything. I am obeying every part of it. I'm getting properly authenticated. I'm getting properly authorized. I am connecting through SSH. I am doing a provisioning of a new server with a newly created security group and all those stuff. So if you go there, and if you go to the security group, you click there and you go to the inbound rules. Can you see the edit inbound rules? I have created only two, SSH and HTTP. So that is aligned or attached. That security group is attached to my EC2 instance, which is this one, not this one, because this has a security group different. See, this is internship SG and this is internship SG name. Any question? So if not, then we can, last part is a beauty, another one. So I will go there. I will say, I would now like to destroy whatever resources I have got. So all this, it will read from Terraform TS state and destroy whatever is there. So Terraform destroy, that's all. And you say auto approve. So what will it do? It will first read the Terraform TF state and it finds that there are two. Can you see there are two resources to destroy? One is your security group, and finally the other one is the EC2 instance. So it is destroying the EC2 instance, AWS instance. It may take a bit of time. and also it is destroying the security group. So the EC2 instance and the security group both have been destroyed, to two destroyed. So you go there and you see now this size will be less, very less, 181, because it is empty. Nothing is there. It has removed. But the backup says whatever you had created earlier before you have destroyed. So let me go there and verify actually what has happened. Let me go to the dashboard. Let me go to the instances. Can you see your internship EC2 Terraform has been terminated, but not the other one? Why? There was no reference to this one. I have not created this through Terraform. I've created this manually, but this was created through the Terraform, and therefore that configuration which was stored in the Terraform TF state was only touched, was only changed. So this has been terminated. And similarly, if I go to the security group, will you find the security group anymore? No. There were 4. Now there is 3. There are 3. So today we have completed our demonstration, or whatever knowledge I was able to impart. Was that okay?
Very okay. You did well.
Thank you very much. So that is what the agenda for this particular session today. Maybe the next week, Saturday, although I will send you a message, maybe most probably because of our festive season going on, I am going to go outside. And so I will not have access to these systems. So maybe the next weekend there won't be any internship session. So the next to next, I will start Ansible.
Okay, sir.
So thank you very much. Thanks for your patience, and it's a Saturday evening. You are doing a fantastic job for yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
I will stop the sharing. And Shubro, if you are there, can you stop the live recording as well? I will stop the recording.
Yeah, I'm doing it right here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have a simple question.
Hello.
I have a simple question for you, Debasis.
Yes, tell me.
I joined really late. Like, I think I missed half of the session. My question is just like, did you, when you create Terraform, did you establish connection with the EC2 server using the PuTTY or